Manchester United has been finally sold to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Official statement confirms. Sir Jim Ratcliffe was competing with Qatar billionaire Sheikh Jassim, who later withdrew from the race after the Glazers refused to sell the club to him. Transaction details include the following. Under the terms of the transaction agreements, Trawlers Limited will, acquire 25% of the Class B ordinary shares of the company, par value $0.0005 per share, Class B shares, and 2. Initiate a tender offer to acquire up to a number of shares that, at launch, will represent 25% of the Class A ordinary shares of the company, par value $0.0005 per share, Class A shares, in each case at a price of $33 per share in cash. Subject to a sufficient number of Class A shares being tendered in the offer, Trawlers Limited would own 25% of the club following the closing of the transaction. Sir Jim will provide a $300 million fund intended to enable future investment into the club's infrastructure at Old Trafford, comprising $200 million paid upon the closing of the transaction, and a further $100 million by the end of 2024. Trawlers Limited will be issued additional Class A and Class B shares at $33 in respect of such investment. The transaction will be fully funded by Trawlers Limited without any debt. The Board of Directors of Manchester United plc has approved the transaction and recommended that the Manchester United plc shareholders tender their shares in the tender offer and approve the change to the Articles of Association of Manchester United plc to, among other things, permit the transfer of Class B shares. The closing of the tender offer will be subject to the receipt of Premier League approval and other necessary regulatory approvals, shareholder approval of an amendment to the Articles of Association, and other customary conditions. Trawlers Limited is a company incorporated under the laws of Isle of Man and is wholly owned by Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Trawlers Limited was advised by Slaughter and May, Paul, Weiss, Rifkind, Wharton and Garrison LLP, Goldman Sachs International, and J.P. Morgan Cazenove. Manchester United was advised by the Rain Group and Latham & Watkins LLP. The Glazer family shareholders were advised by Rothschild & Company.